Welcome again, Military Gooner here representing international Gooners. Anyways, before we get into it, this is the Arsenal versus Manchester United. This is the Manchester United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford. At Old Trafford. But anyways, before we get into anything, any details about the game, weekend game matches, first thing I want to do is that button there. Please press the subscription button. Just subscribe, like, and any little points to pick up and comment about it. If you're thinking of like something, let me know. Just put it in the comment section. But for now, subscribe. Moving on now to the meat of the matter. This is game weekend 7 matches in the Premier League. I think it's now 6 for some, like Manchester United, Manchester City, Aston Villa, such forth. This is your 6th game, but for Arsenal, this is our 7th game. But anyway, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the games that are playing over the weekend. So for the first day, which is Friday, you have Wolves versus Crystal Palace, and I think that's going to be a very good game. Moving on to Saturday morning, early, you have Sheffield United versus Manchester City, Burnley versus Chelsea, Liverpool versus West Ham. Now, I love to do my predictions for these games, and since recently, I think 90% of persons are getting all these predictions actually wrong, because the games are very much wayward. Up, down. Nothing is consistent. No team is consistent at the moment. But I'm going to put in my predictions. So for the first games at Wolves versus Crystal Palace, I'm going to go 2-1 to Wolverhampton. Moving on to the next game day, you have Sheffield United versus Manchester City. 2-0 to Manchester City. Sheffield United cannot score and they're conceding goals. Burnley versus Chelsea. 2-1 to Chelsea. Liverpool versus West Ham. I'm saying 1-1. Liverpool are very inconsistent at the moment, but it might go the other way. But for now, I'm going 1-1. So, moving on to Sunday, which you have Aston Villa and Southampton. That's going to be a 2-2 draw. That's going to be a very good game, 2-2 draw. Newcastle versus Everton. Everton to win that one, 2 goals to 1. Manchester United versus Arsenal. Because it's at Old Trafford, I think we're going to draw the game. And I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Good game though, it's going to be a very, very good game. The 1-1 draw is basically my heart. And that's not what I think. But it's what my heart is telling me. So I'm going to go with my heart. But anyways, Tottenham versus Brighton. 2-1 to Tottenham. Moving to Monday, Fulham versus West Brom. It's a 1-1 draw. And Leeds versus Leicester City. I think Leeds might have the edge over this one. So that's a 2-1 win to Leeds. So that's it for the weekend predictions. Now, going to the meat of the matter, as I said, which would be Arsenal. Now, I have a few statistics here, and I'm going to give you guys, highlight them to you. So Manchester United is placed at 15th on the table. Arsenal is at 11th position in the table, so they're quite close. And Manchester United has a game in hand. So if they should win this game, they'd go above us based off the point standings. We're on 9 points and they're on 7. But our last 5 meetings, it's inclusive of a 1 win for Manchester United, 2 draws, and 2 wins for Arsenal. So in comparison to our last meetings, we're ahead in the last meetings. Now, for last season, we played them twice in the league. First game finished 1-1 at Old Trafford. Second game, which was the 1st of January 2020, which initiated 2020. We beat them 2 goals to 0, 2 goals to 0. The first game, I'm going to analyze in comparison with the first game versus the second game. Reason why I'm going to do this is because they were under 2 different managers. First game was Unai Emery. Second game was Mikel Arteta. Now for the first game, you will see where they outpossessed us They had more shots than us, and the only thing is that we created more chances than them. We created about 3 big chances, and they created 1. But the game finished 1-0 and 1-all. What happened is that VAR helped us in that game. If it wasn't for VAR, we would have lost that game, because the referee the linesman called Aubameyang goal as an offside when it was a clear onside. That pass that Pepe Saka chipped back to him, and where he chipped the keeper. By the way, that's for the first game. That's under Unai Emery. They had a lot of shots at us, and we know that we have defensive problem when we're playing under Unai Emery. Now, move on to the next game, which would be the 1st of January, which we won 2-0. That is at Emirates. We had more possession. We had equal amount of shots on target, and we had more big chances created. And so from Emery to Arteta, you can see basically the team steps up another gear, and it was evident. Now, it's evident because we also walked away with the win, but how dominant our performance was on that particular day. That was the day in which Nicolas Pepe scored his first goal against a top 6 team. Now, I would love to see this game be a one in which it's a hard fought match. But my problem is that Manchester United are in very good form at the moment. The last 5 games they play, 4 games, they average 14 shots per game, with 50% of them on target, and that is a good stat. That's very good. Arsenal average last 4 to 5 games, average 8 to 9 shots, averaging same 50%, but that is quite poor. So you can say that we might be lucky with some of our wins, but we're all in a work in progress. For now, for the time being, we finished 8th on the table. If you look at it, we finished 8th on the table. Manchester United finished 3rd. So if you take that into context, that by last year's standing, they are a better team than us, and we have to admit that. By the league standing, it shows how good you are over the 38 game period, and for that, Manchester United would definitely be better than us. They are playing Champions League, we're playing Europa League. Now, bring that into highlight. They just beat the champions, the leaders in Bundesliga 5-0, which was RB Leipzig, and they played extremely well. They played very, very good. They beat the leaders in the French league, PSG, and they look very good as well. No, we are struggling. We are struggling even in the Europa League against the Europa League team. So I am not looking forward to say we're going to dominate this game, we're going to beat Manchester United. No, I don't even. My heart is saying we're going to go get as much as a draw from this game. But personally, my brain, which is the logical part, is telling me that we're going to lose. Possible 2-1. But it's going to be a close game. And it's going to be a hard-fought game. A very, very hard-fight game. So, I think, logically, we're going to lose this game 2-1. But my heart is saying we might draw the game 1-1. I am hoping things may go with my heart. But we can't just hope and think by hoping we can achieve anything. But anyways, I think this is going to be a very good game. But for now, this is a game that I really want to see Arsenal stepped up and stamp some authority, because we've been going wayward. We played already against Liverpool, Manchester City, Leicester City, and now we're playing Manchester City. That is all in 7 games. That is all in 7 games. And last year, finishing the league, all these teams were ahead of us on the table, which definitely stands out to say that these teams are better than us. That is exactly what he said. These teams are better than us. So it's likely that we're going to lose, or we can get a draw. The most outstanding performance out of those would be against Manchester City I can't lie. The reason why it is the most outstanding performance against Manchester City is because at that particular time, the game was a very, very close game. And as I said before in my previous videos, if you haven't seen before, watch my previous video with what we play against Manchester City, where I said it was a game of chess, and the first team to make the first bad move would definitely lose this game. And we can see now where we can stand and say we fought that game and we played very well. Now, this is a different test. This is a totally different test, and I think that we have to give our all in this game. Now, moving to the lineup, because this is a massive factor. The starting lineup is a massive factor, and I'm not sure if Mikel Arteta really. I'm not sure if he's just rolling dice and just selecting, but he has a massive job on his hand to get the starting lineup. And please take the handbrake off the players. Now, my preferred starting lineup would be this. In the goal, Leno, that is a guarantee. Right back, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Oh, formation is 4-2-3-1. The reason why I use this formation is because I see we're playing a horseshoe ball, football type of football, in which we try to eliminate the midfield and play everything along the wing, along the flanks, and it's not getting us anywhere. So I would love to use a 4-2-3-1 where we can have two midfielders and three attacking midfielders, two deep line midfielders, three attacking midfielders, and a lone striker. The reason being, I want us to overload the midfield of the game. For too long now, we're playing on the wing and avoiding the middle of the field. It's now time for us to put some pressure on the heat map and apply the heat map in the middle of the pitch, where we can say we're moving forward in regards to build up play, trying to do something from central, other than just depending on the wingers to give us something. Now, back to my starting lineup. Leno in goal, Ainsley Maitland-Niles at right back, because he's a better right back and he gives Pepe more freedom and give Pepe more allowance to do what he wants to do, because he's better than defensively than Bellerin. So Pepe, you can take less of the defensive work from Pepe and get him in the more attacking position as faster and as quickly as possible. Now, centre back pairing. Please, I do not want to see Mustafi in it. This is a game in which we should just throw in William Saliba, let him burn. If it goes bad, it goes bad. Let him burn in there. The reason why I would want him to suffer in a game like that is because he will learn. And that's how we saw Gabriel, because David Luiz was out and we had to throw him in the deep end, and that is how we realized how good Gabriel Magalhaes is. So put in William Saliba. Gabriel Magalhaes is good enough to nurture him, and we might be surprised that he's just as good as defender as Gabriel is. So put him in. Mustafi is error prone, and I don't think that there's nothing else that Mustafi can do wrong and learn from it. He's past the stage of learning from his error. We saw it in the last game in which Gabriel was stepping over to mark Honda, and he directly, instinctively spoke to Mustafi and said, "Cover me, I'm going. Pick up the last man, pick up the striker." Mustafi neglect him, Vardy run off him, score the goal. So I don't want to see Mustafi. Whatever error he has in his account, I don't want to see him put it on the table coming this weekend. So put in William Saliba there and just put our trust in him. Many teams are putting in young players in the team and putting their trust in the team, and they're giving their outcome. They're feeding back the club things, that the trust that they're giving to them. So let us do the same. Now, defensive pairing, Gabriel and William Saliba. Left back, Kieran Tierney. Central midfield pairing of Dani Ceballos and Thomas Partey. Reason being, I don't want to see Xhaka. Xhaka has this tendency to drop deep, to try to build a play from so deep. When you're trying to build a play from so deep, it allows your team, the opposition team, to press you higher, and limit the amount of numbers in the midfield. Dani Ceballos and Thomas Partey, these guys are flexible and have agility. So these guys can turn, move in small places and play passes amongst each other inside the middle of the pitch, which you can disrupt the opposition team formation and structure. No, that is the reason why I would want the midfield pairing of Danny Ceballos and Thomas Partey. In the attacking three, on the right side, Nicolas Pepe, someone who can have a bit of spontaneity in them, and they can spontaneously do things just like that. No one just standing. I don't want to see any player just standing around waiting on the ball to meet. No, move about, get going. Some movements so that the midfielders, they can see you and feed the passes onto your foot. But anyway, in the attacking midfield role, Bukayo Saka is the most creative player in the team. He's the most technical player in the team, other than Ozil. The reason is that he can take the ball in small spaces, turn, move, and get off a shot, or square the ball, or he can do something. He has an end product in the smallest of marginal spaces. And that is what we want to see. On the left side, where we can facilitate a structured person, that would be Willian. No, he has a bit of spontaneity, and you can see it sometimes. But that's it for him on the left side. Moving up front, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He has the movement to get in behind, and that is where we want to see someone like Saka to play those balls in the channel. Thomas Partey can play those balls in the channel. Danny Ceballos can play those balls in the channel. But using someone like Alexander Lacazette, you can see where his legs are so tired, they're so heavy and lackluster. He cannot work the channels as smartly as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So what Lacazette tends to do is come deep, turn, face the defender, and try to dribble at the defender. No. When you play off the defender, breaking the line, you pull defenders out of position. But so that opens space for other players, other midfielders to get in the gap and do what they can do. But if you play a player like Alexander Lacazette, he comes deep, which means that the defensive four, they remain the same. They remain the same. And he comes deep, then he tries to face them. No. What Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang does, he stays on the line in between, and then he breaks left or he breaks right. When he breaks, defender breaks with him. So that's what happens is that there's a gap. That's the gap. That gap leaves an opening for a midfielder to break the line and get far advanced in the defensive third. So that is the reason why I would want to see Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang up front. So on the bench you can have Smith, Reece Nelson, Bellerin, Lacazette, Eddie Nketiah, some form of threat on the bench, and we can see where we go forward from there. But anyway, that is for my predicted lineup, my starting lineup, and my prediction for the weekend games. Also, I hope my fantasy Premier League team can give me something this weekend, because that was a very bad week. That was a very, very bad week. But anyway, please, thank you for tuning in. And as I said, like, share, and subscribe. Please comment what you think would be the best starting lineup, and comment if you agree with my starting lineup. Subscribe. Don't forget, subscribe. This is Military Guna.